guys, so the other day I finished up my October This Life Noted pocket page, which looks like this when it's in the page. And as I mentioned, I will just stick this in with my 12 by 12 layout, so it'll just kind of go next to whatever else I scrapbook this month. Anyhow, I wanted to share with you guys my October cards, and I haven't yet decided how they're going to go out on the spread yet, so I thought I would share them and decide where they go at the same time. I just have them in this bag that one of the Freckled Fawn embellishment kits comes in. I don't subscribe to the Freckled Fawn embellishment kit club, but every once in a while I just buy one because they're really cute embellishments. So I have these cards, and I hope that there are enough of them to fill the spaces. I'm pretty sure I calculated it properly. But these cards went on a bit of an adventure before I could get them photographed. These were supposed to be on the Scraptastic blog for September, and I went to photograph them and they were missing. And I almost like went crazy looking for them. I don't know if you guys have ever had that experience where you know where you left something, and so you keep on going back and looking even though you already looked there and they're definitely not there. And I cleaned out my recycling bag and like went through all my garbage, and I was sure that I must have thrown them in the garbage. And then they were picked up by somebody who was in our house, who was kind of gathering up some stuff. And because they were in this nice little package, they were easily kind of picked up along with other things. And yeah, so I have them back now, so I thought I would share them with you guys. And I don't know exactly how I'm going to put them out yet, so I'm just kind of randomly putting them out, and then I will decide later if I want to change it. And then I'll show you the cards. So I'll put this part on fast forward. So I'm pretty happy with the balance of this. The only thing that I will change is, oh, now I might change, oh, hang on a second. So I'm going to change this and this because this photo kind of goes with this journaling. And even though that puts these two photos that are they're not similar, but they're just all photo right beside each other. If this was an open face-to-face spread, I probably wouldn't want these two photos together just because it's not a good balance in terms of there's lots of darkness in this one, and this one has lots of dark elements too. But because these are going to be back to back, I really only need to think about each layout as an individual. So I think that looks fairly balanced. There's darkness here and darkness here and darkness here. And, you know, I find that the photos, when you're taking snapshots, like unless if they're, you know, those kind of overexposed, beautiful photos that I can never take, photo snapshots are pretty dark. So I just kind of try to move the photos around on the layout a little bit. So this one isn't quite balanced. There's sort of lots of photos in this area and not much up here. So I'm thinking that maybe I might want to do something like this, and this, and this. Only now I have two journaling pieces beside each other. So maybe I will, I don't want two oranges necessarily, like I don't want, that would be 3 oranges in a row, so I don't want to put that there. I could put that there. Then as an individual, that's fairly balanced. Like it looks pretty okay. Your eye wants to kind of go around it. It rests right here at this filler card. Yeah, I think I'll go with that. Alright, so now I will show you the pages. So this was a card that came in the kit that I really loved. I love the wood grain and I love the design on it. So I just took some threads and the wood veneer that came in the kit and glued it on using some glossy accents, and I just glued it so that it would stick so the glue would also hold the thread in place. Did some journaling here. It just says, our drive to New Brunswick was so much fun. We chatted about Germany and Canada, listened to music, and got to know each other better. Because this is a road trip that we took when Marcel had just joined our family. He had only been in town for less than a week when we went to New Brunswick. So we spent 3 hours in the car chatting, and that's one great way to get to know people better. So this one said hashtag, this one is a die cut that came in the kit. This is the This Life Noted kit for September. And I really loved it, and this car selfie was one of my favorite pictures from the whole trip. So I just used the letter stickers that came in the kit to write out to spell out the word car, and so then it becomes a car selfie. Just gonna turn off my ringer so that that noise doesn't bug you guys. Then this September card becomes a filler card. Most of the things that took place on this spread happened on the 6th of September, so I just put a star on that. This was actually on the 5th, but all the other photos were from the 6th. And then this is my handsome brother-in-law, and standing beside some rocks that are usually under the, well, half of the time they're under the ocean. And so they're this really lush, beautiful green color. And I just backed the negative space of the ampersand with one of the die cuts. I don't have any of this stuff because I did this so long ago that I can't show you, but this was one of the die cuts that came in the kit. A small package of die cuts came. And so I thought that was kind of a cute pattern to go behind the ampersand. And then this is Sophie beside the same moss covered rock. There were lots of these rocks there. We went to Hopewell Rocks, and I'll tell you a bit about that in a second. So I used the stamp set that came with the kit to spell out "this is what awesome looks like." And I just sprinkled some sequins, and when I do this on these kinds of cards, I always try to make the sequins match the color that it's on. So white sequins on the white background, green sequins, and yellow sequins, and then this is like a pinkish colored sequin on this white and red striped, or I guess it's white and pink striped area. I love this card. It's probably my favorite of this spread. I just love that photo so much. And then this is just a journaling card. All that I added was a sticker in my journaling. So this is one of those see-through Heidi Swap stickers that came in the September kit. I checked off awesome and just wrote, after seeing iconic photos of the Hopewell Rocks my whole life, it was pretty amazing to see them in person. I can't believe it took us this long to go to a place so close by. Sometimes that happens, right? Like whenever you feel like traveling, it feels like you should go someplace far away. And because of that, sometimes we end up missing the things that are in our own backyard. Like I think this is a UNESCO heritage site. Like this is a world-renowned site that is, and it's not going to be there forever because these rocks are wearing away. And so see how it looks kind of like an elephant. So this is it's not at exactly high tide, but we went just early in the day just to be able to catch it at high tide and take some pictures. And we didn't go quite early enough because you can see that the water is down a little bit lower. But that's what it looks like when the tide is high, and then this is what it looks like when the tide is out. And it's actually like way out, like you could walk for a while. So, and those aren't us. That's not us, obviously. It's other tourists who are there. And so the water kind of wears away and erodes these pieces, and eventually, I mean, it's not going to be safe to go down there, or these rocks are just going to crumble and fall. Hopefully when there's no people under them like that. So I just wrote high and low, and then I used the ampersand that came in the kit. And what I did to get this kind of streaky effect is I took two markers. I took a Stampin' Up! Marker. I think it was Real Red. This is Real Red anyways. And I just kind of put some lines, and I kind of came up with this technique by mistake because I went to color it in red, and this color red, although it looks like a nice color red to coordinate with these stickers, when you put it on the wood, it turns this really deep blackish red, like a brownish dark, very, very, very dark red. And as soon as I put it on, I was like, oh crap. And you can't turn it around and use the other side because it's directional. So what I did was I took my Stampin' Up! Blender pen, and these are pens that have a blending solution in them, like a clear blending solution, and I just used it to spread it around, and it became the color that I was looking for. And I also kind of like the streaky effect, so then I just went back with this marker. Once I knew it was going to work that way, I just went back with this marker and made a couple of horizontal or vertical lines in a couple of different places, and then I just used that blender pen to spread it around and color the whole thing so it looks kind of like a streaky red color. And then I just hand wrote the word tides. And this is on this beautiful card that I loved and was a little bit hesitant to cover up, but I really like how that card turned out. And I might use that technique again on wood veneer because it's so pretty, and it does allow the wood grain to show quite well. Then this card was just so pretty that I didn't want to cover it up. So I chose this photo which had kind of like a weird coloration to it. It's a very cloudy day, and this doesn't have, I think, well, yeah, it's an Instagram photo, so it does have a filter of some sort. And it just made everything look a little bit lavendery in the sky. And then my sister's wearing a blue shirt that ends up looking kind of like a purpley blue in the photo. And so I just thought that this card really kind of picked up on the shades in the photo quite nicely. So I just wanted to kind of go with that. So I chose a couple of those Heidi Swapp clear stars as really the only embellishment on this one. And then there was a little cut apart or something in the kit that had, but first let me take a selfie, which my kids sing every time I pull out my phone. So I layered it with a little vellum star that came in the kit, and a wood veneer heart, and a little sequin. And then I just am going to have this fill the whole pocket. This is my sister and I taking a selfie of it. Well, we're each taking selfies, and then Scott took a picture because he knows that I have a thing where I like pictures of people taking pictures, and so yeah. And then this card is just a couple of layers. Like, this is one of the journaling cards. I just turned it sideways. The back side of most of the cards have the horizontal version, so I just turned it horizontal and did my journaling on it, and then I layered it with some of the things that came in the kit. And then this one is just one of the cut aparts, and I typed a little tiny bit of journaling about how smitten Marcel was with the dog. He walked the dog all day long, which gave Sarah a nice break because he's a pretty energetic dog, and it was nice for Sarah to not have to walk him, I think. And so I just put that on this really cool, funky green and white card, which I absolutely love. And that's just the cut apart, and then I just sprinkled some sequins. And then this is one of the cards that came in the kit. It was just a solid pattern of that pattern, and I layered the photo with one of the tags from the kit. It just came with an ephemera pack. And then this was in my stash. My friend Stephanie gave me this. I think it came in a Studio Calico kit, and I really love it. It provides such nice texture and interest that I thought it was perfect there. This was a tag, and I was going to put some string on the tag, and then when I opened up my drawer for string, this was there, so I decided to put that on instead. That's the kids in one of the caves at the Hopewell Rocks. And then for this one, I really just did journaling and slapped on a sticker and put a couple of roller date stamps on there. So that's one of those Heidi Swapp clear stickers. And then this is, it said making plans, so I thought I'd journal about the fact that we didn't do what we planned to do. So we planned to go to Cape Enrage, which sounds like a very violent and crazy place. Like, I really wanted to go to it. I guess it has extreme weather, and we kind of experienced that because when we got there, every other place was cloudy, but it was fine. But when we got to Cape Enrage, there was like a storm happening there. It's like there's a constant storm, and you couldn't see anything because it was completely foggy. Like, you couldn't even see if you put your hand in front of your face. Like, so we decided not to pay admission to go in to see that place because we weren't going to see anything. So anyhow, I just documented that. We'll go back someday, maybe when it's totally sunny, and maybe we'll be able to see it. So for this one, I took an old, not old, but a stamp set from a previous This Life Noted kit. It had photobomb, and this stamp was long, and so I just cut it. You could mask it, but I just cut it because it's easier. And I think I'm more likely to use it stacked like this than I am to use it all in a long strip anyways. So I can't remember which kit that was from, but it's from one in the past 6 months or so. It said photobomb. Just inked it with gray ink and just added a photo. So that one was a super easy card. A lot of these cards are fairly simple for this month. This was busy month for me, so I really like that the This Life Noted kits. The cards are beautiful enough that you don't have to do a whole lot to them. This is just, I slapped on this is case in point, right? I just slapped a flare badge on the patterned card, and it's a filler card. It's nice I like to have one filler card on each page just because it gives your eye a place to rest. So this card was the yellow one that said fun, and I just added a wood veneer, I think this came in the kit, and a little yellow sequin, and did a tiny bit of journaling right here about how strong the wind was. The kids were leaning into the wind, and it was holding them up. It's pretty cool. Like, look at the angle that Marcel is at, and it's holding him up. It was pretty cool. And then we were driving all around and stopped at a covered bridge. And I already did a layout about this. It was called Covered Bridge Shenanigans. So if you want to see a 12 by 12 layout using this photo, you can check that out on my channel. I just layered a ticket in an ampersand just for a little bit of interest. And then this one had this card that has these really cute sequins printed on it. So I just added one of the Heidi Swap stickers for a little bit of interest, stapled my photo on, and added a flare badge. That's a picture of my daughter. She was walking and accidentally walked into maybe accidentally, maybe on purpose, who knows, walked into some mud and had a lot of fun trying to get her flip-flops and her feet out of the mud. And I just love how her hair looks in this photo. It was like whipping and blowing around, and I took a whole bunch of photos because a lot of them, her hair was covering her face, and so this one I managed to catch a shot of her eyes showing, so this is the one that I decided to keep. I really love it. And then this is just a selfie that Scott took of he and I in the wind. I often don't have photos of myself, so because I take most of the photos at these things, so I just layered it with a tag that came in the kit, another piece of ephemera that came in the kit. These little circle wood veneers, this one, and there was a third one that I didn't use. They came in the kit, and they're really cool elements to add. And it's just on this card that says yes. I just covered up the yes part with these elements here. So those are my September pocket cards. So thanks so much for watching, and I'm sorry that this is late, but better late than never, right? And I'm just so happy that the cards turned up because I spent a lot of time working on them. So, and again, thanks so much for watching, and have a really great scrappy week.